All right, this next story is really cool. 3 college friends promised each other that they would become successful doctors and not products of the surroundings that they grew up in.
Yeah, they successfully kept that promise too, John. Now, joining us are the founders of Pulse of Perseverance, Dr. Pierre Johnson, Dr. Joseph Semien, and Dr. Maxime Madhere. Fellas, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us. Good morning.
Great. Now, you guys, let's take it back to the origins. You know, you met down at Xavier University in Louisiana. So take us back to that conversation when you all connected and, you know, the challenges that you faced of just adjusting to the curriculum.
So we come from all, different parts of the country. And when we got to Xavier, we found each other really in a state of depression because we were all failing for the first time. And we didn't know each other very well. And myself and Max actually met in the library. And the conversation was, do you ever leave from here? And he was like, yeah, to shower and brush my teeth. And so,
Not much time for anything else.
Right, exactly. So, but at that point, even though we were studying very hard, we were doing it individually. And we realized that together we could change our circumstance. And then 2 weeks later, we saw another guy sitting at the desk, and he was, struck up a conversation. He was going through the same thing. So once we realized that we were going through these things, we just, formed together, formed a brotherhood, and pushed each other, and everything changed like instantaneously. Just start studying and pushing each other, and we carried that on for the next 20 years.
Was it about making that promise, that pact, that one person wasn't going to let someone else fall behind if it came to that?
Yeah, in reality, it really was. It was about knowing that as individuals, we couldn't accomplish our dreams that we wanted. And so we know in our communities that we have strength in numbers. So the more you connect with like-minded people, the more that you can succeed and fulfill your destiny.
Right. And you guys are all on a mission to let everyone know, okay, they want to change the face, or you want to change the face of what it means to look like a doctor, because we know the statistics when it comes to African Americans being doctors is very low.
Yeah. Huge mission. So we want to change the narrative. So, people that look like us, aren't considered doctors, aren't considered lawyers. Not just, we don't want everybody to say, okay, well, you need to be a doctor. We want kids that look like us realize that they can reach a higher pinnacle of success. And we want the world to know that everybody that looks like us isn't, doing something negative as the media portrays.
How do you do that? I mean, what is it about? Is it just about being who you are in your profession, showing that about? Or is it, Joe, is it about going out to communities, reaching out to kids and actually talking to them?
And that's the thing. We go out to different communities and reach out and talk to them and just show them the realization of actually being just who you are to become a professional. The other thing we do is we struck up a scholarship program, which every month we give away a scholarship to students, underprivileged students, just to help them push them along in their goals.
I imagine it's a matter of seeing people that look like you doing professions that you don't normally see them doing. Yeah. I think that's something that everyone can kind of relate to, this idea that we have these preconceived notions of what it means to be who you are and what you grow up to be. And you guys are about kind of breaking down those barriers and saying, look, it's, even if they don't become doctors, it at least aspires them to something greater than their current goals, right?
Absolutely, because another thing that we do know is that representation matters. And what happens with a lot of times with our kids is that they can't necessarily see themselves in these spaces. The reason why they can't see themselves because, quite frankly, the statistics and the numbers show that we're not in those spaces. So the only way for us to actually reach these kids is to make it appear like we're them and they're us. And so that's exactly what we're doing with our mission. That's exactly the core of our mission.
What's the reaction been like when you go out and you speak to kids? Because I know I get the reaction when they see me and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a sports broadcaster, and their like eyes go wide.
Right,
so
right.
What's the reaction when they say, when you guys tell them that, yeah, we're doctors?
They don't really believe that we're doctors.
They don't. So because we ask them, and the common answer is, you all are rappers or you're athletes or what have you. And really, we're not only do we change their thought perception, we also change our colleagues. Nice. So when we walk in the hospital and we got tattoos and earrings and all these things going on, it's like they have their own preconceived notions and how they treat patients and how they treat people that look like us. And now they have to change that thought process.
Let's talk about the book, because you guys teamed up for a book, and I love the cover, because I'm looking at you guys right now, but the cover's just a little bit different. You guys all buttoned up here. There it is. You guys look like doctors right there. Talk about writing that book, what that experience was like.
It was very challenging. It was one of those things because it was heartfelt information that we actually put in there. And what made it special is that we were very transparent in our lives, just to tell what we've been through so that we can motivate others. That, no matter what your past was, it doesn't determine your future.
And we didn't have a ghostwriter. We sat down and we pushed each, just like we pushed each other, you know, for studying. We like, look, we're going to sit down and we're going to write this. And it took us 1.5 years of just saying, did you write about this? Did you write about that? And just came together, got an editor, and we just did it. And we knew that we had to be completely transparent, like Joe was saying, like, because if we sugar-coated it and made it so we don't talk about this part, whatever, kids wouldn't really relate. So we talk about the bads, the goods, and everything in between.
And big event tonight, right, guys?
Yeah, big event tonight. So we'll be at Vice District Brewery in the South Loop, where we have a meet and greet and a book signing. And we're also doing all types of media stuff today. And we talk to schools. So everywhere we go, we talk to Woodson Elementary, St. Sabina Elementary, and we'll talk to Innovations Today.
Changing lives,
awesome.
one life at a time.
Definitely.
And I gotta say, I don't know if we can show it off, but we've been talking about shoe game earlier in the show.
You
guys are strong.
Listen,
Look at that. I don't know if we can get down there and show them. Or lift them on up, guys. But you guys
It's
are
all
looking good.
Chicago themed.
Yeah,
too. Like,
exactly.
you know,
Gotta
Jordan's
be
down the way.
strong.
So that's why, John, we're going to take you under our wings. We're going to get you.
I gotta get some new ones. All right, guys, thanks so much for stopping
All right,
by.
thank you.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
And again, as we were saying, you can meet the men behind the Pulse of Perseverance today at Vice District Brewing Company from 7 to 10 for free. And if you can't make it, just follow them on social media. Really cool stuff.